Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me today on Yamhill County Truth Seeker. I commit this episode to the spirit of truth. Ellie McMullen, Amity High School senior, welcome and thank you for joining me on the show today.
Hi, yeah, thank you for having me.
Uh, I so appreciate it. I reached out to you because I noticed in the local newspaper that you were an award winner for an essay contest for the local chapter of Daughters of the American Revolution, or DAR as they are known. And that is awesome. We're going to talk about that essay and how that came about in a few minutes. But first, congratulations on being a senior. And
Thank you.
you're welcome. It's awesome. I mean, all 13 years and then some. Summers, who knows what. But how does it feel to know that graduation is right around the corner?
It's totally crazy. I am super excited. I'm also really scared of being independent and everything, but um, I'm really excited to see what college brings. And I know I'm really going to miss my home. I mean, like you said, I've been here my whole life since preschool. So I think it's going to be a big adjustment for me, but I'm excited to see what kind of growth I can accomplish.
And there's no way to know what's in front of you except the next step. And I'm sure you're way more prepared than you think. So I'm
I
excited for
hope
you.
so.
What things or people, this is kind of a typical senior question, but
Mhm.
do you think had the biggest impact on you up to this point? And I know you were involved in church, and so there's your faith, and then you were active in sports, and perhaps your parents or a teacher or two, all of those?
Yeah, definitely all of those. My faith is the most important thing to me. That definitely has the biggest influence on my life. That's where I find my identity, and that's just what I am as a Christian. But aside from that, I am so blessed to have such a supportive family. We all live around here in Amity, so I have spent my whole life with all of them, and I'm just really grateful to have such a big supportive family around me.
For sure. And I've seen it happen ever since probably you were in kindergarten. Um,
Yep.
so you mentioned your faith and God. Is there a little more detail you could give to how that works? Like, do you seek Him throughout the day? Do you go to His Word? Do you ask for His presence as you go to practice or classes?
Yeah,
Speak
all
through
of the
you?
above. Part of my daily routine is every night I have a devotional that I read just to be in God's Word and end my day that way. We also have a Bible study here at the school, so that's actually today at lunch on Tuesdays. We do that. And then on Thursdays, I am a student leader for Fellowship of Christian Athletes. So I found that as a really good way to grow in God's Word and also be able to. I create lessons for the group, and so I've found that to be really helpful in learning how to read the Bible and like decipher what it means. But we also attend church regularly on Sundays here in Amity, so that's a great way for me to be in God's Word and also just be connected to other Christians. We have a really strong church family, and I'm really grateful for that.
Awesome. Well, I would love to talk to you about that for another half an hour, but that's not what I told you we would be doing. So, would you be willing to read your essay to us?
The title of the prompt was Our American Heritage and Our Responsibility for Preserving It. The prompt itself said, how will the essential actions of a good citizen, dependability, service, leadership, and patriotism meet the challenges that America faces in this decade? So I was given 2 hours to outline and write an essay with 550 words. So I'll just go ahead and start. When the United States of America declared independence from Great Britain on July 4th, 1776, a great nation was born. In the following years, great thinkers developed revolutionary ideas for the country, like a bicameral legislature that satisfied all states in the Union and an adaptable constitution that could stand the test of time. The framers knew that America would grow and change immeasurably over time, and they were right. Their insight has allowed the U.S. to survive the past 246 years. Today, the United States faces many challenges, including racial controversy and political division. America's past was built upon its citizens and their beliefs, and in the same way, its future is riding on them. In today's society, we often get caught viewing events and issues through a racial lens, and we try to analyze situations based on the colors of those involved. But if we looked at situations based on the people involved, Regardless of their skin color, many arguments that have divided Americans would never have been necessary. America's founding fathers believed that all men are created equal, endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. Since we are all created equal, then the color of our skin does not matter when it comes to values, rights, opportunities, or much of anything really. Good U.S. citizens have a responsibility to uphold the beliefs of their founding fathers by allowing others to depend on them to treat everyone with dignity and respect, regardless of race. They should serve their communities as much as possible in order to strengthen them and show others that they are valued. Strong citizens lead by example and show others how to see beyond skin color. And finally, good citizens always remember that we are all Americans with values, rights, and goals that are probably more similar than we think. Another issue facing the United States in this decade is political division. It seems as though every day George Washington's farewell address warning against political parties becomes more and more clear. But by exhibiting the characteristics of good citizens, Americans will see that we don't have to be defined as reds and blues. By educating ourselves on political candidates and exercising our right to vote, Americans can be depended upon to uphold the revolutionary ideals of democracy and representative government. When we serve others, we'll see that we are more alike than we are different, and that at the end of the day, we all want similar things like financial security and safe communities. Leadership plays a big role in combating political division as well, because it is what drives more and more people to do things like read up on political happenings, vote, and do community service. Arguably the most effective way to overcome political division, though, is through patriotism. When someone shows pride in their country, it inspires others to do the same. America is the greatest country in the world, and we are blessed to live in it. As good citizens, we should show our gratitude for the opportunity to live in freedom by being dependable, serving others, leading by example, and inspiring our fellow citizens with our patriotism. If we remember that as Americans, we are part of something revolutionary, exemplary, and everlasting, we will never be divided. There it was. Yep, all 550 words.
Wow. There are so many things inside each of many of those sentences that I wish we could unpack. But I'm impressed. I did not realize you had to sit for 2 hours isolated, I assume, and write your essay. Was it at a place of their choosing?
It was actually right here at this same table that I'm sitting at right now. I
Oh, and you
just
had
came in
somebody
here on a
observing you?
Friday. Yep.
Okay. Wow. Well, you were spot on in so many things,
Thank you.
especially the racism lens. And we definitely need to work on our similarities rather than our differences.
For sure.
That will make a huge difference. But under the auspices of patriotism, I mean, you said it all. Why should I re-say it? Did you feel limited, or was it just about right? The number of words that you were, or the time frame. Were there things that you wish you could have said or wanted to talk more about?
I know my outline was bigger than that essay. I actually had to cut out part of it. I don't remember what that was. I chose what I felt like were the two strongest points. But yeah, I had to go back and like make things contractions and write
Hmm.
US instead of United States just to save some words and keep it in that word count.
I realize it's earlier in your career as a voting citizen. I don't even know if you're 18 or not yet, but it's coming soon. And I realize I agree with you about not focusing on reds and blues. I think that's kind of a distraction. But on your point about educating ourselves about political candidates and even the issues, so being educated so that we can vote appropriately, do you sense that the truth about those issues and candidates isn't always easy to find? People say this or that, but is that really what's happening? In other words, is there any fake news in your opinion?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if I would call news fake, but I think there is a lot of skewed opinion in the news and just over hype about certain issues in the news. And I think a good way to find truth about political candidates is to just look at their history and see what have they voted for, what have they supported in the past. And then also looking beyond their political party and at their character, because I think what makes a person a good leader is what they believe and what their character is rather than how they define themselves politically, because at the end of the day, someone is going to choose what they feel is right. So,
By their fruit you will know them. Awesome answer. Well, I'm so proud of you, Ellie, as an Amity High School senior, writing about and representing the qualities of dependability, service, leadership, and patriotism. And if you ever chose to run for office, I'm pretty sure you'd get my vote.
thank you.
Thank you for joining me today, and God bless you on your next adventures.
Thank you.
Would you like to be an advertiser on our show or become a sponsor? That would be great. Why don't you reach out to me at truthseekeroregon@gmail.com.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of these United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And to my country I make my pledge to always love, protect, and defend her. And we the people across this land, one nation